Welcome back. Welcome back to Greenbox Gaming plays Delta Green Impossible Landscapes, and that is the cleanest intro I've had in like 2 or 3 episodes. So,
are we rolling?
Bet you can't do it again.
yeah, we're
Is this
rolling.
thing on? Hello? Hello?
You guys.
How
Did
do you
we-
work this thing?
Can we sync our audio? Are you guys recording? All right.
Don't listen to them.
1,
Everything's
2,
great.
3, clap.
You stop right this second. All right.
But now-
but yeah, welcome.
Go ahead.
What do you have some sass to
No,
add to the situation?
I think you may as well.
I just want to comment on John's light. I think it's kind of
This
cool.
is.
Listen,
That's
if you
actually
if you-
perfect.
If you can stand having the
atmospheric.
light in your face.
No, it's
Okay,
pretty awful, but I could bring it.
Yeah.
Better.
John,
What? So you're just holding
John-
a
ooh, that's
flashlight the
good.
entire time?
Pretty much.
John is joining us from South Africa, where apparently they are having some power grid issues, so they turn it off at
Oh, sucks. Damn.
night. Yeah. But yeah,
It's not
so
as funny anymore.
yeah, it's not as fun now that we know it's an infrastructural thing. So, welcome to Greenbox Gaming. Anyone who's listening, watching, my name's Joe. I'm the handler for this operation, and I'm joined by my friends Brad, playing Hank Ellis, our U.S. Marshal.
Hello.
I am joined by Dace, playing Benji, who is our historian academic type, and of course, by Jean, playing Benedict, who is our bleeding on the ground type of character.
That
Uh,
famous archetype.
That's
That's-
the kind of character in the party makeup that has a facial wound. Is where he fits in. He's a journalist, or he was before he was rendered unconscious.
Honestly, it's
Damn.
overplayed at this point. I wanted to say something in character creation. It's like, John, you can't keep sticking with the guy with the hole in the face. Played out.
It's just like it's his go-to. Like, I get having a comfortable character type. Like, that's
You know,
your favorite.
the weirdest thing is I get like weird sexual undertones from it. Like he likes it a little bit too much.
I get sexual undertones from everything Jean does, to be frank.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
I wish
It's the
I wish he would
accent.
stop. It's just so erotic.
Which accent exactly? The bad ones,
All of them.
or the normal one? Or the normal one?
Is that your number one? Is it really high pitched like that?
Sure.
The same accent.
Why
with
not?
higher pitch.
What's your favorite character accent you've done? Because like, you started out not doing one, and then you did,
Yeah.
and I was so proud. It warmed my heart so much.
I really enjoyed the one when I was in Colorado doing like the Russian heavy.
Yeah, that was a
You
good
were
one.
good at that one.
That was fun.
Oh, yeah, that was a control group. You were playing, he was like a heavy machine gunner in the army. His name was Straczynski, I think is what it was.
It was based on like the TF2, Team Fortress 2 character, the heavy.
Oh, okay.
Man with big sandwich!
Big sandwich.
Fucking over the top.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
if you
that's-
die, you
that
might
makes
want
sense.
to get him back because he could maybe win this combat for us
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
single-handedly.
be great.
Probably.
Well, I don't know what's gonna happen. I genuinely do not know what's gonna happen here, guys.
I
But,
only
um,
make everything that's going to happen, but I don't know
just
what's going to happen.
Rules. And I let them play out. And I goad you into some kind of creepy fucking house in the middle of nowhere that seems like a side quest.
I think I might have said this off air last time, but like, props to you, Joe, for playing that
Yeah, well
so
done.
straight. Like, we walked
That
straight
was
into your
awesome.
trap. Legit thought we
Well-
were off the rails.
I
And then,
think
nope.
I've only been more intrigued one other time in this campaign, and that's when we were fighting Michelle. But actually
Naturally.
going into this house and engine parts that are so like off aesthetic for what we've seen so far, and even whatever this thing is.
Right. No,
been a joy.
there was so many warning signs in retrospect. Like, we literally had somebody look at us in the face while we were staking out the house. We then creep up in an empty fucking house. Nothing to see here. There's so many warning signs in retrospect.
I also wanted to say, so I was listening to episode 6 yesterday, getting ready for today, and that like 10-minute section where Benedict is going from house to house,
Yeah.
talking to the neighbors, might be the funniest fucking thing we have ever recorded.
If
Like,
you
I
had
was
only done
losing
that
my
better,
shit.
we would know that there's a giant
Yeah.
interdimensional
Mechanoid
board
stabby
engine
face.
that's killing us.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeez.
just going up to somebody's house, asking for tea, and then holding
Just
up
wanted some
$50 in front of their face.
It was a good time. I
Oh, God,
enjoyed
that was
it.
so
Every
funny.
time.
I enjoyed it, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it too. I don't often get to use my my old lady voice, but you know, I'm glad I had the opportunity.
Hey, we can always go back over to her house, assuming we live.
Right,
Help
yeah.
us, something terrible's happened.
Oh yes. You're just bleeding with a hole in your head. Jimmy's
Yeah.
stuck in the well.
Give me some tea now, please.
Just pours hot tea over a facial wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did the bare minimum this time and actually looked up Delta Green combat rules, like loosely scanned them, just
Mhm.
trying to figure out any possible way out of this. And there isn't one. We're just fucked.
No, I think running away is the best outcome that you guys can hope for.
Well, we're gonna have to, like, can you even move?
Well, let's get a. Maybe this would be a good time for the
For a
summary because I would like to get another description of this thing.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we have music running? Sorry, quick one.
We do.
Yes.
You might have it down kind of low. I also have it down kind of low. So,
Cool.
globally, it's kind of low, so you might turn it up on your end. Anyway, so yes, we are joining our team as they are standing in the living room of their mission giver, their handler, Agent Exeter, who they now know is Dr. Elias Barbas. They knew something was. I mean, originally they were suspicious. I actually think Brad had voiced suspicions pretty early on, actually, about whether or not this guy was on the level. And then when you guys met at Arby's, which is obviously the best and most covert meeting place,
Naturally.
it's mostly spies when you go into an Arby's. Like, it's all CIA and and
It's like a
everything.
WeWork for spies.
Right. You guys go in there and were able to lift a piece of paper they dropped out of his pocket to find that it had an excerpt from none other than the King in Yellow. You guys followed him back to his house, and all this after being pulled into this investigation. The Dorchester, what does it mean? And as you said, there's kind of this idea that this is like a weird side quest. But as you guys got to Dr. Barbas's home, you followed him. You also saw that he was, from his car, you can tell that he has like stickers on the back of his car that says that he works for the Massachusetts State Police. You guys had followed him back home. Things seem weird. His house is all grown up. You guys did an exceptional job of interviewing the neighbors to figure out what is up. And in a way that most people would call crazy, but which I think was just unique, as unique as the players are, really.
That's like,
No, but it's like you're talking to a bunch of toddlers. It's not wrong. It's just your way of doing it.
It's just your own special way.
Now go take a
so
nap in
good.
the corner.
Yeah, so you guys were observing the house. You see that there appears to be someone upstairs. I believe one of you saw kind of like a woman looks to be upstairs. Saw Barbas kind of moving around downstairs. Eventually, come nighttime, he gets back in his car and leaves. Goes somewhere. Hank enters in the back door But on the way, he sees that the place is full of mechanical stuff, big, like engine pieces and mechanical presses and all of these odd things. As he gets in, the place reeks of oil and gasoline. All of the dishes have been destroyed. There's no food in the place, and there's also no electricity. Benji and Benedict also enter in, not before Benji discovers a strange postcard, which has been sent to, arguably to Dr. Barbas, which referenced a trip across a lake, a strange little man named Mosby, and a name that you guys haven't heard for quite some time, Abigail. As you guys entered in to the home, you're standing in the living room and you see all this weird stuff laying around. One of the things that immediately kind of grabs your attention is this big, strange contraption in the corner. I love the way that the writers of the Delta Green stuff, man, they are stellar. Like, I love the way that they paint a picture, but they don't give you every single detail. They definitely leave enough to the imagination. You see something that appears that reminds you of like a weapons grade hat rack, or like it's just like this like bizarre machine. You go up to it and start looking around, and as you do, it starts clicking and whirring. And then Benedict, in a bold strategy, elects to pick up the nearest heavy thing he can and strike this machine. As he does so, it comes to life, whirs to life, and extends a telescopic piston-like arm and elects to stick it directly through Benedict's face. This immediately did 9 damage to Benedict. Now, for those of you listening who are unfamiliar with Delta Green, some of the mechanics of combat Delta Green, and God knows we're unfamiliar with it.
Amen. Amen, brother.
We're definitely, I'm not speaking as some type of expert, but in Delta Green, if an individual takes more than half of their total HP in a single attack, they are stunned. And stun's exactly what it sounds like. It means you can't do anything for your next round. And also, if you are dropped below 2 hit points, you fall into unconsciousness. And there's a risk for permanent injury due to this. So, here we are. The team is currently standing here. The order of combat for Delta Green is such that you just go off of people's scores. You go off their dex scores. So,
Joe, before we start combat,
yes.
I need to know, was there any damage imparted onto the lion by this bold strategy that Benedict took?
know what?
Because I don't remember I didn't remember hearing any hit points chinging off the side of this thing.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to you. You did strike this thing. Now I have to actually pull out my agent's handbook and try to find a weapon.
Instead of just killing the character that strikes him.
You hit it hard with what?
Hit it with a pipe.
Okay.
I would say that you picked up something. I believe my words were something sledgehammer-esque. So,
a little bit better than a pipe.
You picked up something big and heavy.
Sounds like a club or a knife to me.
Yeah, like
it says
at least a D10.
1d4 or 1d6.
At least a D10, I think.
Wood axe, large sword, 2-inch sword.
I think Benedict's also a big guy. You know, he's.
What is Benedict's strength score?
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, give me a second. I'm on some other character sheet.
Why are you on a different character sheet?
Wow,
Benedict?
you've given up hope so quick.
Not reassured.
You started the game with
he's
another
a 14.
character.
He's a burly big guy.
I'm 14. No, that is you are exceptionally strong.
I'd argue for like a kill shot. That first hammer strike, I'm sure, would have invalidated the lion's
Just an
ability to stab me in the
absolutely-
face.
So you get a
Yeah,
like sneak attack
Ooh,
bonus because
and a sneak attack.
And a sneak attack bonus, just like in D&D. Yeah, what's your
from-
rogue sneak attack bonus?
And what
Oh,
position
you have no
was
room
he?
to talk, Joe. About
were we flanking?
yeah, what's that?
Definitely flanking.
Do you guys have a flank bonus? That's
Flank.
all
On
right.
account of his big flank and
All right,
jowls.
I am gonna say, I am gonna give you a, I'm gonna give you a 1d8 plus 1. The plus 1 will be for your bulky strength. I
Nice.
don't know if that's rule appropriate. If someone has a problem with it, please let me know and correct me. I would love to hear your opinion.
Oh, that's an 8.
But
Oh,
That is
hell
an
wait,
yeah.
8 plus 1.
oh, that's an 8 plus 1. That's max damage.
Fantastic.
That's
But-
a 9.
Keep in mind, I do need you to actually roll an attack roll first. So you can keep the
Oh.
damage roll. You can
Alright,
keep the damage
alright.
roll. Now
Just
make
gonna see if
your
it actually hits.
make your melee damage, your melee attack, at a plus 40.
Give me a second. Melee. What? Unarmed combat.
Should be melee weapons.
A melee weapon. Gotcha. And any modifier?
Plus 40.
Excellent.
Because it's inert when you strike it, you know. Did you fucking miss?
That's a 74 under 70.
Jesus. Well,
What does that look like? Like, how would that happen? He missed.
well,
He's
I
just
mean,
swinging
and-
Big machine.
in reality, he did hit it and that came on, but I guess it just wouldn't count as an attack.
It was a
And
glancing blow.
Just like,
Yes, I think that's, you know.
It's just a dainty ping.
Ping. Well, like, or maybe you strike this thing and you hit a necessary component of it. By the way, I was messing around with some stuff, and if you guys would please refer to the old board. This is
oh,
just
we
some,
gotta.
This is
Ah.
not the official This is not an official Delta Green piece.
So it's like a Fallout version of a Terminator. Great.
Oh,
Get
that's
out ahead.
awesome.
Did you do that, Joe? Or you found something and modified it?
This is AI generated.
Gotcha.
That looks great.
So yeah.
Damn. Sweet. Okay. Good to know. I was thinking of like a giant square bucket of nuts, but it's more skeletal.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I'm sorry, but like I'm gonna have to rule that with that glancing blow, you just really aggravated it. And just really excited it. But unfortunately you did not do any damage to it.
Fantastic.
Great news,
This,
everyone.
Like piston comes out and like blows a hole in you.
So fucking comically apt.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I mean, I imagine that literally, yeah, that this. So, you come down, you pick up like a section of drive shaft or some like large piece of steel, and you whack this thing and just blink, and that whirring, it just hits a steady crescendo. This thing like shudders, folds out, kind of turns about 45 degrees kind of toward you as far as you can tell, and from that central kind of gearbox body extends this telescopic piston that goes just straight into Benedict's neck, and then as he falls to the ground and you guys are just standing there stunned. But you know what would be good here would probably be a little bit more some upbeat, more music. So, here we go.
Excellent.
So,
I would have performed a lot better if this started with this music.
you think so? All right, so we are now, but we're now in combat. So the lion, as this creature is called, not that you guys would necessarily know that,
Has line like printed on the side of it with a bunch of random numbers and
well,
URL
it's funny
bar.
it's funny that you say that. It's like if it were to say that, it would. That's not important. You guys wouldn't know that. So next up is Hank, is really Hank and Benji. Benedict would have gone last. So Hank and Benji, you guys technically you will go simultaneously. So what are you guys gonna do?
I was looking through the combat options, and there's not really an option for what I want to do. It would just fall under anything else, because I basically just want to grab Benedict and drag him out as fast as possible. Like
Hank was
just
going to
grab
do
him
that.
and run
Benji
away.
didn't. So we're acting simultaneously. So I guess is that what you're going to do, Benji?
Yeah, look at Hank and be like, grab him, let's scram.
And Hank will be like, "I'll cover you," and Hank's going to open fire on this while Benji
Okay.
takes
This
the
could
smart.
be. This could be the shortest session ever.
Could be.
I mean, 9 points. What? How much damage did he do to you? 9 points, or is it 10?
Fuck ton.
9.
If you go down to 0 in Delta Grain, you're just dead. Like that's it. There's no saving
Straight up
throws,
dead.
or you're just
You have one hit
done
point,
so.
is that right,
Yeah,
Benedict?
I'm unconscious.
Yeah,
one hit
we got to
point.
get him out of there.
Actually, and you know what? This would be a really good point. Hey, Jean, could you please roll me a quick Constitution check?
Wait,
for
what?
old
No,
Benedict?
I'm not involved in this. I'm unconscious. I can't roll
There's
Constitution.
a whole part of this
point.
book that's about permanent injury. So
Oof.
let's see.
So
what the
Constitution at a plus
Constitution.
40 because he's burly.
No.
No. Success. 13
Alright.
under 55.
You lucked out. So assuming you can get all your blood back in, you probably won't have any.
Yesterday, Joe,
long-term
duct tape.
damage.
Then
We've
she's
always
like
got
cutting
duct
up his
tape.
blood and trying to put it back into his face, in his neck hole.
Yeah. So so it sounds like, so Hank is gonna unload. Is gonna pull out your. You guys don't
Heavy
have deagles,
pistol.
but that's what we've been saying. So it's.
It's
So
an
you
eagle.
pull out your heavy pistol and you're gonna unload, and then Benedict is, or
cow.
sorry, Benji is gonna try to get in there and grab him and hoist him out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's how I'm gonna rule. So the attack from Hank, that's straightforward enough. All right, as far as Benji under anything else, normally you can move, 10 meters, like just period. Like a 10-meter move is easy. Or you can do a 20 or 30-meter move. And 20 or 30-meter moves require you to basically roll something in order to not fall on your ass.
How close is the door?
It's not that far. Like, this is not a huge living room. Like, it's definitely within what I would call 10 meters, right? So, I'm going to say if you want to get there, if you just want to get to him, you can probably get to him, but if you want to start pulling him toward the door, you're probably going to have to make some type of strength roll.
That's what I was afraid of. Benji
That's-
is lots of
that's what it
things,
takes to-
but strong
that's-
is not one of them.
That's what it takes to carry people, you know?
He's definitely, you can't like fire him and carry him or anything. Maybe you can just like drag him by the leg, honestly. And once we get past the door, we're out of the boss room, and therefore the boss can't attack us anymore. And we can
That-
quick save and,
And
fast travel
and try again.
to a hospital.
Honestly, if I were you, when I'm trying to get out the door, I would load a save. I would load the autosave before you guys
Yeah.
even entered this room.
We're already fucked. We might as well reload a save.
Is that an option? Can I roll like a 1d100, like a d100, and if I get a 55, then we do a quick load mechanism? That's how that works. I think I read that somewhere.
I don't think that's how we're gonna do it. So
1 in 100.
So Hank, if you want to start blasting, you go ahead and do that. Let's resolve your roll first.
Because one other thing, this thing might be stationary. We don't even know if it can move yet. All right, so that's 1d20 is what I wrote down for heavy pistol.
Oh, I don't know where you got that. You're still gonna roll a firearms roll.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Okay.
no, you have a plus 20, don't you? Because didn't you guys like get the laser sights or something?
Yeah.
Is that you actually remembering that happened, or is that you just saying that because I said it?
Yeah.
Wasn't there something about like desert camo?
I think you guys had.
I don't recall that at all. All I recall is heavy pistols.
I seem to remember
We
that you
did
guys
get
got
some
like
extra
laser
gear.
sights for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
You know what
So
I
I
should do
just-
because it's not written down. I should not give it to you. But I seem to vaguely remember it. So I'll give you a plus 20 on it.
Well, I didn't just make up a 1d20. I wrote that
I
down
know
for
you
a
didn't.
reason.
I know you
Okay.
didn't. Yeah.
So okay, I do firearms first.
Firearms
So just
plus 20.
one. All right. Success 16. Under 82.
All right, then go ahead and roll me 1d12 of damage. And these are beefy guns.
Fucking god.
Oh my god. At
What's
one.
that?
Straight up 1.
Great. I get one shot. Is that right?
Yeah, it's pretty much how it is. Yeah. So, cool. All right, now Benji, you want to get there and try to pull him. So it's 10 meters. 10 meters is not a terrible amount of distance. So, if you want to try to get there, grab him and drag him out, I'm gonna need a strength check. If you get a critical, I will say that you make it like all the way to the door with him.
Okay.
If you get a critical fail, if you fail, I'm going to say that you're able to get there to him and you have him in your arms, but you're not able to move. If you succeed, you get there to him, pick him up, and get a little ways. If you critically fail, you're going to get there to him and you're going to fall on your ass as you try to get him into a position to drag him. And I've done this as someone who's carried people. It's really easy to fall down while it's happening. So,
Yeah, I forgot
see
that
what you
stage
got.
of your life when you were really into abductions.
it was a phase. It's not
All
a
right.
phase, Mom.
I'm glad you grew out of that one before they caught you. All right, here we go. Strength roll, high
tell me what you get.
stakes. All right, failure. God damn it. 54
so
over
close.
50. This is not going great, guys.
All right, you are now arrayed directly in front of this thing. You're there. You have him basically in your arms, and you haven't fallen on your ass. That you'll be able to move next round if you want to continue to do this. Okay. I would say that it's Benedict's turn, but he's preoccupied.
Gurgles gently.
There's
Benedict in,
there's a-
in Benji's arms.
There's a wheezing sound through the hole in his neck.
I didn't catch that, buddy. What? Little Timmy's in the whale.
All right, back up to the top with the lion.
What are the aggro mechanisms? Are there aggro mechanisms in Delta Green? Like, will this thing attack?
There's nothing
Hank, because
specifically
he shot
built
at him.
in, if that's what you're asking. Yeah.
Honestly, best case scenario, this thing attacks Benji and he acts like a damaged sponge.
Yeah.
Hanking it.
All right, I'm trying to think of what we
That's
should do here,
a scholar tanking it.
as one does.
Dire straits.
All right, and then before we had said that maybe Hank had on a bulletproof vest, but the other two didn't. Is that correct?
I said Benji didn't.
Okay. This thing is going to... I don't know, like, this thing... I don't know how this thing would respond necessarily. So I'm gonna say... I'm gonna roll a roll.
You looking for suggestions?
It does nothing. I'm gonna roll a dice to see if it attacks the person who's directly in front of it, or if it attacks the person who's just damaged it. So.
And if it fumbles, it doesn't attack.
No.
All right, let's go.
Guys, I'm gonna be such a good DM one day.
God, he's gonna be so good.
Just tell you.
So 50 and under is gonna be Hank. 51 and up is gonna be Benji. Let's see what we get. 36. That's Hank. It is going to make. It's going to make an attempt to get over to Hank. I'm going to say
Well, now I know it can move.
God, it moves.
it can, but it doesn't seem to move very easily. And actually,
Got like shitty tank wheels.
it's like on this weird tripod, and it seems to
Okay.
not really walk so much as it just leaps,
Oh, this is even worse
Crazy, like-
somehow.
like a jumping spider.
Ah.
And this, as it does, is this huge racket as it it's just like trying almost like rending itself apart. It sounds like it's breaking, but it doesn't show any damage. It is going to move over to Hank. If this thing didn't have such a low intelligence, I wouldn't have necessarily rolled for this, and I would have done something else with it. But so it's gonna move over to Hank. But now that I realize I've said that, it technically can't do anything else now that it has moved.
The fact that it even has intelligence is weird. Like, does that indicate that it's sentient?
So, Hank and Benji, what do you do? Hank, this thing's now directly in front of you.
Should I go instinctually or try to be meta? Are we just playing as the character would? Let's just do that.
Play as the character.
Either plays the character, man, every time.
If it came at Hank, it would be obviously out of the range of Benji, and maybe Benji has more of a chance of helping so-and-so, so Hank would just unload again. I think.
All right, let's see that. Let's see that roll.
And firearms. Plus 20 or no? What was the plus 20 for?
Plus 20 for having the laser sight. As long as you don't get damaged.
Success.
You get that.
Barely.
Alright.
68 under 82.
Roll that d12.
Come on, baby. 11.
Nice.
11, nice.
11. All right, 11 damage. That's you hit this thing, and the bullet goes through, and you hear it like almost like it sounds like it shatters and ricochets inside this thing's head? Question mark? Like it's the like centralish gearbox.
Oh no, my gearbox.
Now,
Oh no. Why? Why, Hank? Why?
No, you cannot.
so yeah, Benji, what are you gonna do?
Same thing.
All right,
Strength
roll
roll.
that strength roll to pull him out. And I'm gonna say that if you get a success, I'm gonna say you make it to the door, or you make it probably like you're able to get him like started out the door. If you make a failure, you're not able to get very far. Critical fail, you fall. Critical success, you make it all the way like to the front porch and are like heading down the stairs.
All right, here we go. Success, 17 under 50.
Nice.
Success. All right, you were able to drag Benedict out and everything. Oh man. Wait a second.
I don't like that.
I don't like this
I
one
think
bit.
I might have forgotten to do something. Forgot to do it last session. Did Benji take sanity damage
From
from seeing this thing activate?
I don't think so.
I think Benedict did.
I don't remember even rolling for that.
I'm
Did
looking
we-
up. I'm looking up Benji. Everyone failed but Hank. Benedict and Benji failed a sanity check for something.
Okay.
Did you deflect? All right, I'm
Yes.
gonna say you guys. Okay. I did a really bad job last season on this, and I'm doing a bad job this one. I need you guys to help me. Benji has a mental disorder from damage from the unnatural. If Benji takes sanity damage from unnatural sources, he has a chance of going temporarily insane.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Um,
So
Let's do it now.
I don't know what's happened, but so we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll
Okay.
with it for now. If something comes, I'm sure there's not gonna be another opportunity to encounter the unnatural.
no. I do remember. I remember now. I'm right on the verge of my breaking point, and I chose to deflect because I thought it was foolish not to, given the stakes.
Fair enough. So yeah,
And I deflected on to Sandy, which, Sandy
That's
was
right.
that diner lady waitress,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't even know if it's like ethical to still have that bond because that was 20 years ago. And
I don't know, man. You've kept up with her a little bit.
You think so? Maybe we're just friends now.
Maybe just friends.
Maybe
Well,
you
you guys
just
were never
watch her.
romantic from afar.
Time can do so many things.
I can do so much. Yeah, I deflected onto Sandy.
Okay. There is also a way to resist going temporarily insane, which burns a bunch of willpower. So deal with that at that point. Anyway, so yeah, you make it out. Hank, you deal this thing a pretty good blow as Benji is pulling poor Benedict out. Poor Benedict, what would you like to gurgle or twitch in this situation? What is your
Kind of twitches a bit of like a hand, and he like manages to flip the bird, but he's very shaky.
to Benji or
Ray, put me off, brother. I'm trying to save your ass. Stop bleeding all over me. Golly.
He just hears robot noises coming from your mouth.
okay. So back up to the lion. The lion is going to attempt to, I think, as part of this move, it is going to ram you, which is
That doesn't
might
seem
be-
lethal.
Of course not. So let's see. Let's roll that. Let's roll that ram damage. Ram bam.
Ram dam.
Ram bam.
Oh, ram.
Let's roll that ram attack first. That is a hit. That's a hit with a 15. And real quick, what I was looking at too is because if Hank is the one who has some body armor, say he has a Kevlar vest, which gives him an armor rating. So, all right. We're going to reduce the damage by 1 because you have a vest on.
Okay.
Because this thing has some piercing. And we're going to roll the damage. What do you think the damage is for a ram attack from a big mechanical monster? What do you think?
Well, you
Pretty
said it
low.
couldn't move that well.
Given that he's stabby, more he's a more piercing attack kind of guy, not so
Yeah.
rammy.
Well, those are interesting opinions, but the book.
I've never been
states that
rammed
it's
by a jumping
2d6.
spider.
2d6.
fuck.
What's your HP, Hank?
You said what? 1d6?
2d6.
I heard one.
Well,
That doesn't.
my hit point is 15, so he couldn't kill me, but I'd be
Alright,
in the
he's
same state.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. 2d6. Here we go. -1. Fuck me. All right.
What was it?
Does
You already
Does-
calculate. Go ahead.
nope.
Oh.
It is a 10. It does
Ooh.
10 damage. Remember how we said that thing about if you lose more than half your HP in one
Oh my
go?
God.
Oh no.
How you
This is
you know,
insane.
yeah,
What'd you
Yeah.
say happens?
you're stunned.
Oh,
As in unconscious, or I just can't move? I'm
looking it up now.
I think you will be flabbergasted in that you cannot speak.
Is that the
And
worst
that's
part of
all.
it? That's
Don't forget to turn on condition flabbergasted.
the good old fashioned flabbergast. I'm trying to find where stunned actually is because I wanted to find it properly. Chip me. God, we're so bad at this. I'm so bad at this.
Let's see.
Wait a second. I think maybe if I go back over here. This is great. This is great radio too.
Trying to help you out here. I'm on the Reddit threads. How do you interpret the stun condition? First response: I just make them talk like William Shatner. I think that depending on what stunned them, there might be situations where they couldn't speak at all, but nothing comes to mind right now. That was extremely helpful. Magnificent OFAT, thank you very much for that reply.
The stun attacks startle and impair. While stunned, your agent can't act. When it's your agent turns, you may attempt a con ×5 test to recover and act normally next turn.
There you go. All right.
But I
So-
prefer the Shatner approach.
We're not doing the Shatner approach, to be clear.
There's nothing that says we can't do the William Shatner.
I think
The-
Brad would pull it off. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so
I'm trying to
Brad,
think of
if
what
you will,
William Shatner sounds like.
so Brad, if you will give us your best William Shatner throughout the rest of your description of your turn, I will give you a +20 to your Constitution roll.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Yes.
He gets hit. He gets hit really hard. He says,
That's not it. That's not it. Come on,
Huh?
give it to me. Give me
"Yeah,
the Shatner.
I'm in the thing. He gets hit.
No,
he gets
I
rammed."
want to hear Brad do it too, not just
Oh.
Hank. I also want to hear Brad do it.
Warp speed forward. I don't know what he sounds like. Honestly,
He did other things besides Star Trek.
Did you never watch
Like
Boston
what?
Legal?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's,
That,
that's
no,
that's
no.
that's.
am I thinking
more
of the wrong person?
That was
You're
the
thinking
cadence
of-
of
What's his name? What am I gonna do? What's that guy's name? He did
I
that
don't
music
know,
video
man.
where he's like dancing.
terrible.
Christopher Walken.
Oh my god,
Christopher
Christopher
Walken.
Walken.
Hey, real
Alright, we
quick,
gotta move this
it's
along.
Vulcan.
Sorry, we're in combat.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Joe's got a great Walken. All right.
All right, so what do you want to do?
What can I do? I'm stunned. I
Well,
got.
you can
for
roll
it.
That's
your
for next turn.
you can roll your Constitution roll.
Yeah. So I'll do that. That's all I can do.
Yep.
Is it his
I'm
turn?
also want to get. Can I do this and also look around the room for anything explosive that could fall on this thing? That's some success. 50
Success
under
in your
70.
Constitution. So next turn you get to do something. I would say, I don't know, man. Not really. Especially if you're stunned. Like this thing whacks into you. You take a metric over half your your HP worth of damage. It probably breaks a few bones or something, and you're befuddled as this happened. Benji, what would you like to do?
Kind of put in a. I mean, he can only help one person at a time. He's got to just keep dragging Benedict out. So
All right.
rough choice, but I think it's the only choice to make. Do I need to make another strength roll to get him completely out of the house?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, he's already on the porch, but it's like if you want to, like, you guys are outside the front door, like on the small little porch there. If you want to,
Get to the
make a strength
car.
roll to get him further still, then you do what you want. What would Benji do?
Oh man. even if we get to the car, Hank's got the keys. Hank's always the driver.
Shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Wouldn't have the.
That's
I
totally
mean-
right.
But someone
he
was
would have
waiting in
totally
the
left
car.
the keys.
No, someone was
underneath.
waiting in the car. Hank went around back. Benji went to the front door, and Benedict
Oh,
was
we
still
were.
in the car.
Benedict
You're
was in the car. I think Benedict would have the keys.
Okay.
He was the last
Let's-
one in there.
All right. Yeah, he's just gonna drag him to the car.
Good luck, Hank.
All right, give me that strength roll.
All right. Strength. Here we go. Fucking fumble. Fucking fumble. This.
This is a safe place to fall on your ass.
Yeah, you
I
literally
think.
like as you're lifting. I mean, you're out of breath. I mean, how old is Benji?
40 something or 50 something.
I think he's in. Wasn't he originally 40? I don't know. However old Benji is. Oh no, Benji is the youngest of them all. That's right.
Mhm. But
yeah,
he's lived
you-
a hard life these past
Yeah,
20
he's
years.
lived a hard life, and a lot of that has not been spent in the gym. And as you go to lift him, and but also, like your hands. I imagine that you're like hauling Benedict. You're like holding him underneath his armpits, like pulling him backwards
hmm
as you go, and your hands are covered in blood. Like they are just absolutely covered in blood, and he's like. And blood is slippery. Like it is like you like slip and fall. Like there's a moment where you pause to look up, as you see this thing leap across the room and smash into Hank. And in that moment, you like slip and fall and stumble, making no more
That's
progress.
interesting. Maybe he sees his hands covered in blood and he has a flashback. And that like causes him to stumble.
Yeah. Now that I even think about it, I don't know. We'll handle that in a minute. That's after. That's a post combat thing. So yeah. So here we are back at the top with the lion. It is going to make another one of these attacks with this telescopic blade
God.
thing.
Well, Hank's dead.
It's not good.
Let's see what happens.
It's
You
how I
might
would have
miss.
wanted to go.
He might miss.
My miss. You guys ready?
I already feel it. Hank's dead.
Let's see. Hank is standing there as this thing hits him, and he's holding his chest, and he stumbles back. And it's hard to say how much of it is complete chance or decades and decades of training that take over as Hank comes to his senses and suddenly weaves down and manages to dodge this blade that comes out.
He missed
like
the hit. Wow.
Yeah, you know the way that aliens stick their little tongue mouth thing directly through people's heads. Like that's how it is. It just comes straight out, like in a straight stabbing
It's
motion.
like Matrix.
No, it's not like that.
Harsh, but fair.
Because you're not a superhero. You're a fucking 60 something year old U.S. Marshal. You
What about,
barely manage to
Mike
get away
Tyson
from this thing.
dodging a punch. Old people can still box. They still got
Yeah.
reflexes.
You manage to get down, and it just goes right past you.
Wow.
Hank,
Hell yeah, Hank.
Benji,
Ooh.
what happens? What do you do?
Well, now that Benedict's at the car,
He's not at the car. He's still on the front porch.
oh yeah, I
slipped.
fucking fumbled. I forgot.
T.
Get him to the car.
T.
Okay. Yeah.
What would Benji do? Don't listen to Brad. Brad's not real in this world. Only Hank is real. What would Benji do?
What would Benji do? He's not thinking strategically. Like, I want to turn around and give Hank some covering fire, but I think Benji's rattled. He's just gonna focus on the main goal, his initial goal, and try to drag Benedict to the car. Just like, yeah, first instinct. All right, here comes another strength roll.
Let's see. Let's see what happens.
Likelihood of fumbling again. Yes.
Success.
Ooh.
41 under 50.
All right, this time you have made it far enough. Like I'm gonna say like you make it like to the edge of the yard, and basically like you're to a point where it's like you think if you want to get him, you think that he's relatively safe here.
Okay.
He's far enough away for it to be all right. So, Hank, what's up?
Quick save.
Quick save.
Hank can move now.
This is not the place to quick save. You should have quick saved before you came in here. This is
I
a
like to live
bad quick
dangerously.
save.
Hank can move now.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there any way he could take like a -20 or run for the door and shoot backwards? -20 to firearm, something like that.
No.
All right.
no,
Well,
no.
then he's just running to the door.
All right, Hank, so you can make it 10 meters.
Mhm.
You can kind of do like a tactical, just like, I'm getting the fuck out of here kind of thing, and that's fine. If you want to make it all the way out to probably where Benji is, you can make a dex check.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay.
So
If
just
you want to make it even
dex.
further than that, you can take an even harder dex check.
Just trying to get out of the house.
Okay.
So just straight dex.
Yep, just a straight dex.
29 under 70.
All right,
Alright.
you make it out to where Benji is,
Okay, sweet.
and you guys, you make it out there, and and Hank, you're just now. I mean, well, even now, you probably can't feel the pain, but you know you're fucked up.
Yeah.
And you look down, and I don't know, like, what is, like, how does you look down? I mean, I'm sure Benji is just like wide-eyed,
Yeah, well, before we get into that, what's happening? Is this thing pursuing us?
Do you want to move on to the next round?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you just want to do that
I
right
think we're out of combat, aren't
now? No,
we?
we're done. We're done with combat, guys.
It's to the hospital. Thank you very much. Pip pip.
So Hank's hurting.
That's
He's just.
Benedict.
I mean, if Hank has any other actions, he's gonna try to get help.
Not right now.
Okay. I didn't know what you were asking. You were acting like you didn't want to move on.
No, I was just asking you guys like what this scene looked like as you
Oh,
here at the edge of the front yard.
I mean, let's just move on. Now's not exactly the time to talk.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
yeah.
So, the next thing that happens is there is a grinding, whirring sound as, like, I imagine, like, maybe, like, Hank, as you're, like, moving past the door, you bump into it, and, like, you bump into it, or you, like, push it open, the front door, and it slowly begins to close, just, like, on its own momentum, and as it does, it just explodes off the fucking hinges as
shit.
this thing
Oh,
just leaps out onto the front porch.
What the fuck?
Oh shit.
Question:
now-
did it roll to get there? Did it actually get there?
Huh. Okay. All right.
Meta his own game.
All right. Yeah. So in order for it to get all the way out there, we are gonna say, let's see.
See, the problem is that Benedict can't do anything right now. So
That is not true. That is not true. You can
But
coagulate.
Gian can.
You can gurgle.
I can be a bit of a stick in the mud. Be a bit of a stickler for the rules, and that's how I'm going to help my team.
Let's see what we get here. Successful dex check as it
Fuck.
effectively
All right.
sprints and finds itself
Them's
on
the
the
rules.
front porch. What do you do, Hank? Benji? Oh Lord, he's coming.
Oh Lord, he's coming. Cat me. I say, Benji, we gotta get in the car and go. And help me get him in the back. It's a van, right? Right.
It's just a car, I think.
Just a car. Okay. Well,
Okay.
that's what.
Benji will do that, but as he's doing that, he's like,
Hank, we got a hell of a problem on our hands. This thing gets out and starts murdering people left and right.
I don't think you have time to talk about it. So,
I don't give a fuck. Get in the car.
so what do you guys do?
says,
What do you guys
We're
do?
trying to get Benedict in the car. We're
Yeah,
trying to like
okay,
throw him
wait.
in the back.
With our
Okay,
powers
so like, are you
combined,
both
can we
doing that
hoist-
together? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. With your powers combined, I will say that it is not a lot of problem. I would say I don't remember how aiding works in Delta Green because again, we're not super good at this. So I'm gonna say, which of you is stronger?
Hank for sure. Benji's got a 10 strength.
All right, Hank, you make the strength roll. Take a plus 40
Okay.
because you effectively have, you have another person helping you.
Success.
All right, 70. You guys make it to the car. You're able to get over there. Maybe Benji, maybe you open the door and you guys dump Benedict in the car.
Pat him down for keys.
You're able to get the keys from him with little to no problem.
Okay.
In this time, in the top of the next round, again, the lion, like clanking down the stairs, like towards you guys, and its weird, like tripod spider legs. And I guess we'll do another dex check to see if it stumbles.
On its tiny legs.
Are we getting
fails!
sass from our DM?
Oh,
nice.
it trips.
It trips on its dumb mechanical legs.
Not
Uh,
made
it
for
may-
walking, made for stabbing.
As it steps on one of these like wooden steps, the step collapses underneath its immense weight as like one of these little spindly steel legs just goes straight through the wood. And it takes a moment to free itself. In this time, if you guys want, you can jump in the car and start getting the hell out of here.
Okay.
That's exactly. Hank will suggest stay in the back with Benedict and try to get him, tend to his wounds as best you can. And he's gonna get in the front and drive to a hospital.
And Benji unload a clip on this thing as they drive away. In this suburban neighborhood, just roll down the window. Blam, 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 blam.
It's like a gang drive-by shooting.
I don't know how they're gonna explain all the noise. Like the cleanup after this is gonna be a mess.
I mean, honestly, if I know we're not supposed to let like extraterrestrial shit or whatever run about, but I mean, we're gonna die, and it's gonna still be running about if we stay here any longer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like you are at this. You guys are at this nexus. Where obviously, you have obviously you have an extremely injured person in the back seat, right? I don't know. Actually, both of you make me a medicine or no intelligence checks. Both of you make me intelligence checks, please. The two of you who are conscious.
Why, sure.
Success 45 under 60.
Success with the 25 under 75.
All right. You guys, he's not. You think that if he doesn't get some type of stabilization, he might not make it to the hospital.
Benji puts a tourniquet around his neck and pulls it real
As one
tight.
does. We used to make those jokes. We used to make that joke all the time when we were talking about head wounds. We're like, okay, patient comes in with head wound. What do? Tourniquet the neck. So you think that you're gonna have to probably do something soon, otherwise he might bleed out. That being said, you know that going to the hospital, this is just you guys as Delta Green agents. Going to the hospital is going to create a metric fuck ton of questions. And you guys know that the program doesn't always cover you, and they're willing to burn you if necessary. you also know that you now have an unnatural threat in suburbia.
We
So-
have to. Hank's just gonna go start driving. First of all,
Okay.
unless
Is Benji gonna
reject.
Benji gonna unload out the window?
Are you saying if I don't make a medicine check right now, then
That's what we
Benedict is
think.
just gonna bleed out?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay. If I have time, if he's not gonna die right here, then I would like to unload on that thing. Maybe it's got low HP. Maybe we can actually take it out. Probably not, but yeah, I'm gonna try.
All right. Give me that roll then, plus 20.
That'll
Because
be
you also have a
firearms.
laser sight. Yep.
Firearms plus 20. Success with
Nice.
40.
An exact success.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Awesome.
Exactly. So then, if that's the case, then go ahead and roll me that D12.
Here's the
Damage.
D12. Fucking 1. Really? This session is just.
Jesus, yeah.
And then Benji turns the gun on himself.
All right. What's Hank gonna do?
He's gonna drive to the hospital and
I actually have a suggestion. I have a cell, if you will, Joe. So
Okay.
on Benji's character sheet, you remember when the 20 years passed, Benji now has a skill in black markets. Could we
house
say
doctor.
that?
Mob doctor.
Well, I was thinking of veterinarian or
Nice.
something, like a mob doctor veterinarian.
It's like a. Have you seen that Seinfeld episode where Kramer goes to the vet because he thinks vets are better than doctors because they can cure a chicken, a cat, a dog all in one day?
All in one day. Oh, no, you know what, Dace? I think that this is, I think what this really is, this is a case of metagaming of the most effective type, which is actually knowing the kind of things that your GM likes. And that's exactly the kind of thing I like to hear.
Can I interest you?
Oh, get some juice.
You want to use some juice? Wait, do you have a juice?
No, he gets
Honestly,
juice
don't
for
know.
that excellent idea.
Add one juice to your
Hell yeah.
character sheet, to your
Hell yeah.
inventory. One juice.
Plus 1 juice.
Plus one juice.
And that is to
So-
really encourage us to please the DM. That's what the juice is for.
That's to make me happy.
Positive reinforcement.
No, that's good character play.
So
Yeah, so all right, so yeah, give me that if you want, give me that like black market skill you have
Okay.
to see if you can find
It's
something.
pretty high. I got a 75 in it. Let's see what I'll roll. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and burn my juice.
You're
This
gonna
is
burn your juice
important.
immediately?
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. It's only a
Uh-oh.
5%
This thing.
chance that you will fail it.
What is it? What do we say the modifier for the juice is?
We're saying plus 20.
All right, plus 20. Success. 53 under whatever.
You know, damnedest thing, you know a guy.
I know,
You know
a
a guy here in town. You think that you can take someone who has some the most suspicious of wounds and who won't ask any questions, assuming they are paid well.
Hank, slam it to Hawthorne and Perkins. I know a guy.
you can't bring him here, man. You can't bring him here.
Can't bring him here. Just use like
Uh,
a stabbing motion.
All right, heading there now. And heads off. Also, while Hank's heading off, he's gonna use the burner cell and call A cell on the way there, if possible. We have a direct line to A cell, right?
You mean you're gonna use the satellite phone?
Yes.
Doesn't
Okay.
that go to Exeter, right? Well, that's the one
Well,
that
we got in
Exeter
contact
gave
with
us.
A cell last time, I thought, or someone picked
Right.
up. We don't know if it was A cell. Someone picked up
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
not Exeter. when we
Okay.
called the
Fucking ate a
satellite.
sandwich on the phone.
If this
with us.
motherfucker's eating another sandwich, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. All right. So, yeah, you pick up the phone and I mean, you're gonna do this while driving, or are you
Yeah.
gonna get Benji to do it?
I'll try to do it while driving.
All right. It would be kind of funny to make you roll a driving
Telephone
check.
Oh my god.
Telephone check. But I'm not gonna do that. Silly. You guys round the corner as you are making your way away from this thing, and as you do, you see this machine clamber out into the street. Ging, 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 ging.
God.
And it seems to come to a stop as you get around the corner. And you remember that wooded area across the street that I described?
Yes.
It clambers off into the woods.
Oh,
It's
that's
just a
bad.
fucking Terminator wandering around in the woods.
Oh,
As one does.
somebody's gonna have to take care of that.
What about the neighborhood children?
They probably have like a neighborhood watch. I'm
Sure,
sure
they'll
they're
stop
equipped. I'm sure they're equipped for this kind of thing. Oh wow, that sure did transition suddenly. All right, so you guys you pick up the phone, you type in, I forget what it was, the code. It's like 626 or something like that. And there is the sound. You're
Getting a
just
bit
kinda like-
muted on the noise cancellation.
Oh, did it? Oh yeah. There's a sound. There's like a beeping sound, and as you are waiting, and I don't know, is Hank like pick up, you know, or like
Yeah.
getting frustrated? as you're
Definitely.
saying
Definitely. Come on! As he's gunning it through the
Alright.
streets of
it?
Boston.
Eventually it picks up. Hello.
Hey man, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm coming to your place. Click. No. That's... he says, listen, we got a situation at whatever the dress was. I'm assuming we knew the dress of
Yeah, you have the address.
Exeter is burned. He is not to be trusted. We're in a situation. We need a crew at this address. That's all I can say now.
Roger. What is the status of your team?
Not good at all. Bad.
Roger, your mission has changed. Agent Exeter is now the mission. Copy?
Oh,
God.
fuck. Copy.
And there's a pause. Do you say anything else?
We're gonna need more weapons. That would be nice.
Roger. Phone hangs up.
Nice.
Hank! Was he eating a sandwich?
I couldn't
Right
tell,
as
Benji.
the phone goes to hang up, you hear the sound of that unmistakable sound of crumbling sandwich wrapper.
Crisp lettuce.
It's like an ASMR of someone biting into a big crispy lettuce sandwich.
He
forgot
was
to turn the
Benji,
phone off.
and it wasn't Arby's.
And he's making sounds. He's like, oh yeah, oh man, it's a perfect
Somebody's
amount.
bleeding out
Is
in
that-
the back seat right now.
Is that yeah? And I imagine Hank's just listening to it, like he's not putting. He's like,
in
man,
shock.
I can't believe they like. I'm so glad they use ranch instead of mayonnaise. Like, who does that on a sandwich? None of that happens. None of that happens. The phone
Shit.
goes off, and you guys scoot to get to this mob doctor. In the meantime, is anyone going to attempt to, I don't know, help
Yes.
Benedict?
Yes. Well, no. Because I have a 0 in medicine.
What?
What about first aid would really be the thing to use for this.
Okay. I've got a
Now, I will remind you. A critical failure on a first aid roll actually does damage.
Oh my god. That's not good. I've got a 10 in first aid.
What would?
Probably should.
What would? No, you gotta play Benji. What will Benji do?
He's just gonna take his fingers and shove them into the hole in his neck. Plug it up.
Okay. I mean, he's basically he's unconscious, so it's not like he's like fighting you.
I'm gonna roll a first aid. John, I'm sorry if I kill you.
All right.
I
this
would've
is
wanted
where
to
stories
go.
are made.
Success.
A success?
10. Holy shit.
Wow.
What are the
Things are
chances?
turning around. We just needed a killer monster to go and chase off into the woods, and things were looking up. Let me
Nice.
tell you.
All we needed, guys.
Excellent.
I cannot
Hey,
believe that worked.
Yeah. All right. So you are able to, you're able to actually roll me 1d4.
Jeez.
Roll
Wow.
me a
Actually get
1d4
some
there
healing.
for old Benji. Let's see what happens.
1. Oh, I'll take it. I'll fucking take it.
All right.
That was risky. And
He's
Wait.
still unconscious. Benedict, please add 1 hit point to your hit point list.
Oh, he's feeling great.
It's feeling fantastic. Still unconscious. You think you have stemmed the bleeding. I
Stay
don't-
with me, buddy.
I don't know if you guys even have like maybe like a first aid kit, but you know, like maybe you just like take a towel or something and just like, or a shirt that's there, and you just like push it into the hole, and you think you've got the bleeding mostly stopped. You think he's stabilized. All right.
Most
You
epic
guys
getaway.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys make it to the location that Benji knew about. It's late at night, guys. It's like 10 o'clock at night at least. As you roll in, Benji, you know to pull up behind the shop. It's like one of those vet offices in a strip mall kind of deal. And you pull up behind, and you slam on the door. You know, you're knocking on the door, knocking fast. There's a slot, like an eye slot in the door, and it opens up. And you know that like, I don't know if you know that. Do you know this guy personally? What do you think? How does Benji know about this place?
I was just wondering that. God, how would Benji know about this place?
I mean, a blues bar, for sure.
Like maybe he just ran into him after a concert or something? Like that.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is like, you know that, this guy's operation is. He sees you, and he says, "Is it Benji? Is it Benji
Oh.
there?"
Long time no see, muchacho.
Oh, yes. Are you okay? You
We
come
got a
very
bit of a
late.
situation all on our hands. It's kind of critical. Time is of the
He
essence.
sees all the blood on your hands. He's like, "Where? Come in." And the eye slot slams, and the big steel door opens, and you guys bring Benedict in, and you place him on a big stainless steel exam table. And they're like all around the room are kennels with dogs and cats, and they're losing their fucking minds.
Jesus.
As you
Chaos.
guys come in here.
This is not a place for healing.
And he sees you, and he sees the place where you've basically created like a pressure bandage on Benedict, and he's like, ugh. He looks at you, he's like, "Ugh, you may have saved his life."
Yeah, I got lucky.
He says, and I says, "All right, well, you know it's going to cost you."
Oh, he has plenty of money. The one on the table, that is.
If you want to get paid, you gotta save him. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. He's the one with the money.
Okay. Should I make you roll some type of persuasion check for this?
Come on.
Benji
I mean,
pulls
how
out his
good-
desert eagle and starts murdering his animals one by one.
For every second you hesitate, I'm gonna blow another cat's face off. That's just how it is.
That's just how it is. Well, roll a persuade check. Take a plus 20. And I say because you have a decent relationship with this guy.
So is this guy trying to get the money up front? Is that what he's doing?
Basically.
Okay, I'm with you.
Persuade plus 20. Success 46 under 65.
All right. He says, all right. It's like there's Benji. Well played.
I owe you one, buddy.
He says, yes, you do. And he basically pulls out a box of gloves and gives you each and holds them out to you. Says, you're my nurses tonight. Put these on.
Okay.
Okay.
Put 'em on.
You guys have to stand there as this guy basically stitches. He gets into this wound, and at one point in time, he says, he's like, oh my God. He's like, what do you even do this? What have you done to this man?
And it's the less you know, the better. Trust me.
You're right. No, you're right. Like the second you say that, it's like, oh yeah, you're right. I don't want to know. He says it's not a gun. He's like, it's not a gunshot. He's stabbed with something. Jesus, nearly cut the jugular completely in two. This will not be easy. So he is going to make. He's going to make a check, and let's see if he can.
God,
Let's see how
all
well
this
this guy
shit.
does.
All this shit, and he could still die.
And he could
Yeah.
still die, my dude.
That's what you get for forgetting what you're playing.
I mean,
Alright.
look at the picture of Agent Exeter. Would you think that man has a Terminator in his house?
What would somebody have to look like in order to look like they have a Terminator in their house?
Good point.
That's a good point. All right, I'm gonna roll a skill. I'm gonna roll for this guy as he attempts to do some.
Oh god,
here
we go.
Attempts to do this. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. 23. All right. Out of 23.
So this is for treatment, right?
Yes, he's treating this wound. Let me roll another dice here. Trying to decide what I'm gonna do here. We're gonna go with this. Go with a D4. Shit me, fuck.
What?
Add another 2 HP.
Hey! He's doing so well.
Like, you guys are standing there. One of you's like holding like holding, what is that? Anesthetic,
Balls,
like a
balls.
balls. One of you's holding like the gas over Benedict's mouth. And you're doing this, and the other one is like, he's like, hand me those the forceps, and like Benji doesn't know what forceps are. He's like the tweezer things. And he's like, and like you're handing him stuff as he's going and stitching up, and then when he gets done, there is a pretty professional, if not really fucking scary looking, suture that is now across Benedict's neck.
Jeez.
You know, and like,
You
and
did it
he's got him
again,
on a.
Sergey. I think this is your finest work so far.
How many times have you come to this guy?
He's looking over and he's like, yes. He's like, it's not my best work, but it
Oh,
brought him-
don't you say that.
yeah. And he looks over at Hank. He's like, you're not looking so well either. He's like, what? He's like, were you hit by a car?
Part of, well, never mind. Yes, I'm a little under the weather, and he's raised up his shirt. I guess it was like
Yeah.
more of a body injury, like a torso
Well,
type.
like
injury.
as you pull it up, it's like, and Hank now as the adrenaline has drained, and it looks like Benedict's better. You actually, even when you go to lift up your shirt, like, like you realize your ribs hurt. And he looks at you, and as he lifts up his shirt, like, Benji, you see he's got this huge bruise
Boner
spreading, this huge erection. He has this huge bruise spreading all over his rib cage. And he's like, ooh. I'm gonna make a. He looks to you both. He's like, can you? He says, I will assume. I will add it to your other bill. How about that?
Yes.
That'll be fine.
Let me see.
Benji like
Right,
nods to
Benedict.
Benedict's head.
All right. He gives you some pills. He says, he's like, hey, how much do you weigh? As he like pulls up a shot of something. He's like, he gets your weight, and he because that's how you measure medicine for animals. And he pulls up a shot. He's like, pull up your pants.
All right. He turns
At
around
this point,
and drops his.
Benedict has regained consciousness because above 3 hit points. And at
About
this
that
He's laying on the
time.
bed, and Hank's ass is just right next to him.
He just oh god, what tea? And then he just sees Hank's ass.
He gives you a shot of something. He's like, there, that should make you feel a little better. Give yourself 2 hit points.
Oh, thank you.
He says, that'll make you feel better. He's like, but this will take time. And Benedict, as you're coming to, he's like, welcome back. And he's like, and as you go to get up, he's like, no. And he like he just pushes you down with no effort because you're just weak. He puts his hand on your chest and just whamp right back down. And says, no, you'll stay here at least a few hours. Unless I have other work come in, then you have to leave. And,
God, what happened?
Yeah, and I think that is probably a really good place for us to go ahead and stop for this episode. As you guys are standing in, the veterinarian office of Dr. Abrinovic, who is so wonderfully helped you, and it's definitely not going to ask for a lot of money afterwards. So,
I mean,
Worth it, I would say.
yeah. We thought Benedict was gonna die, and then we were like positive
did
Hank
not
was gonna
think
die.
yeah.
The fact that all 3
No
of us
way
made
out
it
of
out. Yeah.
And guys, I'm not saying that I didn't have all the faith in the world in you. I did. Every step of the way, I knew you were going to find a way to
I
overcome.
could have used this pep talk yesterday, Joe.
Yesterday, Jean and I got together and dealt with a new character. But yeah, I didn't know how that was going to go, guys. Like, you got lucky just in the right times.
I mean, could you have gotten any closer to death? He was at 1 HP. He could not have gotten any closer to death.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he avoided permanent injury because that con roll.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
True.
And there may or may not be some sanity rolls that need to be done, but we can handle that next episode. You know,
Hey,
I
John,
think
are you
Might
excited
just
to, I don't know, play the game next episode?
Totally. I had plenty fun playing the DM today. Playing against the DM.
Oh well, actually,
To get out of the door.
is the creature moving further? Is it running? Because then it means to make a dexterity check.
I did what I could.
According to the book, the stun condition is.
Oh, on that note, did he actually roll to get to the forest? Does that just, is that for flavor? Hey?
At that point in
We
time,
take
you
it
guys were out of
Artistic
combat.
liberties?
We have to roll for every door we open to make sure we don't jam a thumb.
Every time. Yeah. All right. Well, man, I think that about does it for this one. Everyone who's listening or watching, thanks for joining us. We're enjoying the hell out of this. I did not know how that was going to go. I think it went a lot better than I was predicting if I had to put my money on it. But it was dramatic and good. If you like what you're hearing, man, come on over to our subreddit. We're at r/greenboxgaming. And also, join us over at the place where I had it written down exactly so I wouldn't do this.
Nailing it.
Right, it's every time. If you like what you're hearing, and if you like it enough where you're like, man, I want to hear this a week early, head on over to patreon.com/greenboxgaming_ and consider becoming a contributor. It's only $3. You get to listen to the episodes early. We also, just recently, for anyone listening, we recently upgraded the Patreon subscriptions to where you now get a private RSS feed so that you don't have to listen to the episodes on the Patreon. You can listen to them through it with a private RSS feed through Apple Podcasts or through Spotify or Google Podcast. You just you go in there and use the link, and you automatically get all that straight to your streaming, whatever streaming app you prefer. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for this. This was a good
fun.
sesh.
It was.
Thank you.
Got into it, yeah. Thanks for setting that up.
Yeah.
All right. And for those of you who are watching a stream, stay tuned. We're going to take a break. And for those of you who are listening to the podcast or the pod, thanks for joining us. And we will catch you next time. Bye.
We love you.